Hey, it's your guy Trigger FTU here once again with a new episode of Will It Play? Now, the newest game we're going to be trying out today, believe it or not, is going to be Final Fantasy Strangers of Paradise. This game was released on PC not too long ago, and we're going to try to see how well it plays, if it will play, on the INEO 2021 Pro or even the GPD Win 3. Let's try it out, shall we? Here we are with the GPD Win 3. This thing runs a whopping 1169 G7 Intel Pentium i7 processor. It also has Windows X, Intel Xe based graphics. And we're going to start off with this thing here for a moment, as the INEO at the moment is in the works of fixing itself. We'll load up the game. We'll see how well it runs, if it runs at all. Let's check to see if it works. A little bit hard to see on my end. But it does look like the game tries to load up. Now we do have the game settings set to Now we do have everything set up on the BIOS to run at no higher than 25 watts. So we'll have it in English, voice in English. All right. Now we're going to see if we can fix this windowed screen mode. Let's see what we can do about this graphical situation. There we go, borderless window. Video RAM, no RAM to work on. VSync, we'll turn that off. FPS, we'll max out at 60. Because why not? Now this does have an FPS priority mode, so that means that there is some form of dynamic resolution going on in here. We'll start a new game. We'll go into action, because I played a little bit of this. I even streamed it on Twitch, YouTube, and Facebook. And I don't know if you can see, but we are still rocking at a beautiful speed of 30 FPS. We're going to see if we can skip this. So far, the game is rocking pretty well. The GPU is at 35%. The memory, the CPU is at 72, and rocking at the most highest wattage of 25 watts. The amount of use that's currently in use is roughly about 11 gigabytes or 5 gigabytes. I'm not entirely sure how Afterburner reads out on here. So we'll skip ahead. We got this battle that's going to start us off in dealing with a Hydra. Oh, and right off the bat we see glitching. The game is in fact, oh wow. Wow. Looks like just we needed to sit there and consider preloading the cache, which it is not taking it too well. GPU is maxed out, CPU is working as hard as it can. Ripping off those heads and giving a go. The game is supposedly running at a maximum 30 FPS, but there is quite a bit of glitching going on here. As you can see, it does drop down to around 5 frames per second completely at random. This is very questionable in the gameplay footage and gameplay itself. Oh, and the game spontaneously crashed. Okay. Um, that answers the question. With everything set to low, question is, will it play on the GPD Win 3? So far, the answer is kind of. You can get the game to run, that's one thing. If you can get the game to run smoothly, that's another question to be asked. Oh, reloading the game, we see there is a bit of a glitch going on. It does not like this one bit. So, Intel integrated graphics might not be acceptable. Let's take a look at the graphics settings and to see where everything's sitting at. It shows no video RAM, of course. Okay, we'll try that again with everything set to minimum. Now the game reloads relatively quick because of the fact that this thing uses a Gen 4 based PCI Express and setting everything to bare minimum. Everything seems to be running a little bit more smoother. It's clocking down at around 28 frames per second in average. I knew there was something a bit unusual. Because normally the match doesn't end after you tear off the enemy's head. Yep. So brings to question, will it play? To a limit. It'll allow you to play the first battle. So, will I suggest playing this on the GPD Win 3? Not so much. Let's head over to the Aya Neo and see how well that flies out. So here we are with the Aya Neo Retro Powered Edition. Now this thing has a 4800U, 16 gigabytes of RAM, and this has been recently upgraded to a 2 terabyte Black Edition Western Digital. Now, of course, the hardware in the Aya Neo 2021 Pro is only capable of Gen 3, so the max read and write speeds will vary. If I do understand correctly, it'll actually max out at around 3.5 gigabytes per second. Starting off the game for the very first time, let's put it into game mode so that we can really see about loading it a little bit more faster.
someone else in my eyes. All I had was love for ya, love for ya, yeah, yeah. All I had was love for ya, love for ya.